guys, Shadney back with another process video, and today we are gonna go kind of embellishment crazy. Before I even got started on this page whatsoever, I just went through and pulled out all the embellishments I wanted to use, and basically what it was is I liked these. They're not thickers, they're from Rosie Studios, but they are kind of cardstock on foam alpha stickers, so they're kind of like thickers, and they do stick really well. And I wanted to use them, and they're this army green kind of color, so I wanted to be able to tie that in. So when I went through everything, I just tried to pull out as many embellishments in that deep army green kind of evergreen color as I could, and I just stuck them all onto wax paper so that I didn't lose anything and I didn't have to go through each individual sheet while I'm going and like actually embellishing. So for the background first, I went through and found the black on white diagonal stripe and left that as my main background, and then I did a pink tone on tone. It's like a chevron broken herringbone kind of rough sketchy herringbone kind of pattern, and I just cut that down to 11 by 11 so that it had a nice 1/2 inch border all the way around. I pulled out some scrap pieces to do my photo layering. There wasn't anything super exciting, but I did go through and add inking to the edges of all these pages of the background sheet and all of the layered photo layers right here. I am adding fun foam to the back of my photo. I add a couple layers of the photo mat and then add some fun foam and then add the rest. And I think that just gives it a little bit of interest that it's not all super flat in any way. Even the photo mats aren't flat and then popped up or anything like that. It gives it just a little bit more depth to the layering. And then I have the title here. So originally, when I was going through and doing these embellishments, I really didn't know what I was doing at all whatsoever. I was not sure how I was going to get all of these embellishments on the page. And it was just kind of, I had so much to use, and I don't know. So it ends up kind of crazy, but I like how it ends up. It's good. It's just it's a lot. Before I get started on my, like the rest of the design of the page, I go ahead and add my journaling around the outside border. I just thought that would be a fun little added part of the design where you kind of got that scribbly look around the edge of the paper in the black, but that was also the journaling. So you didn't have a lot of area of the design of the page, of the layout, taken up by journaling when I have so much embellishment to go onto this page. It also would get lost with all these embellishments if you just did the journaling on the background page. So I didn't want to do that. And I did go ahead and just do the journaling around the outside. And then I was trying to be kind of like sketchy and sprinkly, and in my head I was going to do a big like sprinkle embellishments all down the center, not the center, but down that line down behind the photo, and then just add embellishments. But it kind of ends up with a lot of embellishments, and I honestly forgot I even did those scribbly stars in the first place. So you'll see in a minute, they get kind of covered up, but they do add a little bit to the background when you're not looking. It's almost as if like you added splatters but without the splatters. So first I go ahead and adhere that photo down, and then go for the title before anything, because the title is fairly big whenever it's got the 3 different fonts. So the title is, the title is Christmas Shopping with Daddy. this year, not this year, but the year this photo was taken, Phil used to work for Dell, and Dell was really good at Christmas time. They would give you a 2-week holiday. Not all of Dell does that, but the part that he was in did it because they were like contracted for a special company, and that company didn't work, so they didn't really work. So they got kind of a 2-week paid holiday at Christmas, which was awesome. So Phil got to spend lots of time with India when he worked at Dell at Christmas time because of that. He had two Christmases that he got to spend at home with Indy, like a couple weeks. So they did lots of fun things. This one, this was the first year, I believe, and they were shopping at Target, and they went and got coffee, and we're buying, for Christmas, our tradition is that we do our stockings the night before, and we buy each other Christmas pajamas. And I mean, other little trinkets and stuff, but like stocking stuffers, but that is our big thing, is we buy our pajamas for each other, and do our Christmas stockings on Christmas Eve before we go to bed. So this was when Phil and India went to Target to get my Christmas pajamas. But of course had to stop for coffee, and she was so tired. You could see, especially when she does it still now, but not as much when she was this little, especially if she was tired, she would play with your finger, and like she like squeezes the end of your finger and like feels it's weird. It's hard to explain, but so I just love that he got a picture of that, because he was texting me a picture of her being tired and saying she was ready for a nap, back before she gave up her naps, which I wish she hadn't, but so I just thought it was a cute little memory, and it's fun that they got to spend this little quality time together, and it was just cute to look back and see how little she was, and like her little quirks when she was that little. So now I'm just going through all these embellishments and starting to add everything down. I'm kind of keeping it on that line from the top to bottom, like horizontally, and it kind of gets a little weird shaped because the bottom ends up kind of wider than the top, which kind of bothers me, but it's totally fine. It's not bad. It's just different than what I expected it to be. And then I tried to, then it ended up whereas like just the middle was wide, but the top 2 parts kind of tapered off, but then it just got more and more. So it ended up kind of odd shaped, but it's totally fine. I got all these fun embellishments on the page, which was really cool. And yeah, so the title, I went in and added off kind of to the side there so that I could go in and add those stockings. We get a ton of stocking embellishments in all our Christmas collections, and we only have like 1 or 2 stocking photos every year. So I wanted to try to incorporate these stockings because it was kind of part of our stockings was they were shopping for stockings. So not the stocking itself, but what goes in the stocking. So I thought they were rather appropriate to use for this layout. And so I like adjusted the title so that the stockings could look like they're hanging from the word Christmas, and then the rest of the title's off to the right. So then after that, I'm still just going in and adding all of these little embellishments and pieces that I'd pulled out. There's no rhyme or reason to it really, other than keeping them kind of spread out, and so your eye keeps moving around the page. In my head, when I'm adding embellishments, my goal is that if you look straight up and down and straight across, like the cross lines of where, so if, it's hard to explain, sorry, that if that embellishment was the cross section of 2 lines, the vertical line and the horizontal line, if you go across those lines, that same embellishment is not straight up and down over crossing another embellishment. That sounds weird. In my head it works. I'll have to explain it like when I can actually do it live so I can show you what I mean. But, so basically, I don't want anything like directly lining up with each other. I like everything to be kind of offset and rather than directly lining up. It's just a mental, personal thing. It's part of like one of my quirks, I guess, is that I would much rather things be purposefully off kilter rather than trying to make them line up and be perfect, because that makes me more stressed out than just making it crazy. And it's another reason I don't like mirror image kind of layouts where it's like perfectly balanced across the whole page. I hate that. That drives me nuts. I do not like it. So this being all over and kind of crazy and wacky is perfect for me because you guys know I'm all over and crazy and wacky. So now that the page is pretty much finished, all that's really left is to go in and add some Nuvo drops. And I do them in this, it's like sunset something is the color, but they're glitter drops. And when you do it on white, they're a little bit more of like an orangey kind of color, but doing them on this pink, it makes them that perfect coral color that they stand out over that pink background. So that is pretty much it for this layout. We just went crazy with the embellishments and added them all everywhere. And yeah, that's it. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Oh, please let me know down in the comments. I would love to know what are some creative ways that you like to add journaling to your page. So, and then like as this one goes around the border. So I would love to know if you have any creative ways to add journaling that's not a traditional adding journaling kind of thing. So, and then that is it. So have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful day. Happy scrapping. Bye, guys.